not just paying for houses. They are paying to avoid stress. They are paying for comfort. They are paying for control as well. Comfort and control. And if you think about that for a moment,
Yeah.
because in reality, when people hear luxury real estate, they often think it's about big buildings, beautiful gates, chandeliers that come from the ceiling down to the ground,
Yeah.
beautiful marbles, expensive marbles. But for wealthy individuals, that is not the main value at all. At
At
all.
all. At all. So what they are really, really buying is something deeper, something way
Yeah.
beyond what we see or what we perceive
Yeah.
it is, right? They are buying peace of mind, they are buying control over their environment,
Yes.
and a life without unnecessary disturbance. The set of people that I know do not like disturbance in this life are wealthy people. There is like that's one common thing you'd use to know,
Exactly.
you know,
Just have to get used to it.
right? And in cities like Abuja,
Mm.
where development is fast and movement is constant, peace has become something that people are willing to pay heavily for. So after the entire day, after the stress, out there, after going out to, let me use the word hustle, right? Hustle and everything, when you come back to where you sleep, you want to have that peace within your community, peace in your home where you actually live.
Now, talking about control and peace of mind, this is why wealthy people choose places like low density estates. And by low density, we just mean a place that's not populated, where there are not plenty houses. Like
Yeah.
there's one in particular in Wiyon and Passage. I'm like, whoosh! I think it's just about 1 to 8 terraces in
Yes.
just a peaceful,
And
beautiful
then you'll be
compound.
wondering if people actually live there.
Always quiet, always very
Calm,
it
serene.
feels really good because wealthy buyers prefer estates that are not crowded, and this means fewer houses, more space between the buildings, and of course, more breathing room. And like this particular estate, which I just mentioned, I said it's just 8 terraces, it's just four this side and four this side, and massive space in between. Then their parking lot. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And why does this matter to them? Because most of the times crowding creates pressure, more people, more noise. Not always, but most times more people is more noise, more movement, more disturbance. And like she said earlier, one thing the wealthy we do not like is disturbance. We don't like it at
Not
disturbance.
at
We
all.
don't like it. And low density estates create the opposite effect, which is calmness, privacy, and a sense of personal space. And for all these individuals, I mean, space is not just empty land. Space
Exactly.
to them should be freedom. Yeah.
So
The next thing.
before we go deeper into this conversation,
Yeah.
for our live session this evening, we're looking at why wealthy people pay more for peace, privacy, and exclusivity.
Yeah.
Right. And we've established the fact that they no longer just go for the house itself. They
Yeah.
go for peace. Their peace is much more important to them compared to any other thing they are paying for, right? And this is one of the reasons why they look out for low density estates. So the next thing we're going to talk about is security and controlled environments. This is another thing that is very, very important to this set of people. Now, wealthy people don't just want gates, they want control. And when we say control, we simply mean control over who enters the estate. This is very important,
Very.
control over who comes in and who goes out, right? Control over unexpected disruptions. And it might sound like they are mean, but they are not mean. Imagine you're living in a place where, let's say your house is just by the roadside or by the express, a very beautiful estate, but because people know that's where you live, anytime someone is just passing, guy, they have
Yeah.
or maybe you live in an estate where you can just drive in. The security would not even ask you who you're coming to see, and then you wake up and someone is at your door. I
Yeah.
don't mean that. I don't mean it in a bad light. We're just talking about control over who has access
Yes,
where you
yes.
live, because that is your privacy. And you have all the right in this world to reserve that privacy to
Exactly.
whoever, you want, to
Come
have
into
that
that space.
opportunity to
Yes.
have access to it, right? So this is why gated communities, estates with security systems, and managed access points are, high valued.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think even you who is joining us today, watching this live with us, will agree with me that this is like, we don't have to debate about this. It is very important. This is one of the reasons why, beyond looking at, the reason why people pay for places, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people like to live in estates, because
Yes.
it has controlled access, it is a gated community, and because uncertainty.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Now, it is not just about safety from crime alone, like we mentioned earlier. It is about removing uncertainty.
Yeah.
Now, uncertainty creates stress. This is this is the number one thing. It creates stress, and stress is something everyone wouldn't want to deal with,
Yep.
especially the wealthy people who are actively, spending heavily. They don't want stress, so they are paying heavily to reduce that stress.
I mean, that is quite a something I shouldn't joke with. I will not joke with, definitely, because you may not be able to relate to this until you have a friend that loves you so much, that you love so much, and that friend likes to talk a lot and loves to spend time with you, and you don't know how to say no to the person, but your gate man can say no to the person for you. You will value this when when you're in such a place. When they cannot come, they must reach the
your
gate man.
very bosom friend,
Exactly. Because,
maybe they can't reach you,
yes,
and then they're at your gate, and your security man will
exactly.
help you do the job.
You just the ad. What will not happen? They will now call it. I was okay, so but the security, they say you are not around. And
Oh, truly, I wasn't around.
actually, so another reason why the wealthy also buy certain places for real estate is to avoid noise and traffic.
Wow.
That is another major factor. I didn't used to understand it until recently. I began to get certain conversations with certain people that calmness, the absence of noise, actually helps certain people think clearer. Because places that you see things like constant generator sounds, places like where I grew up, traffic honking, street trading noise, and a crowded environment around their homes, they often do not want this. They want calm environments where they can think, rest, and live without interruption. You see, when it comes to this particular issue, that's why you see these days, you hear things like how do they say that?
Eco lifestyle,
Yes,
ecosystem.
yes. So this place
In
where green estate,
Yeah.
where it's just solar systems, green, you don't hear all those generator sounds because
With smart home features.
I imagine a man who goes out, maybe he's not working physically, but he
Yeah.
does a lot of mental work through the day and then comes back home.
To the every
Exactly.
sound of your neighbors.
Exactly. So these things, by the time you begin to look at this, you realize that it's not just that's why they're not just buying the land, they're buying what is around. We keep saying
Yeah.
that it's what's happening next. Some people, I know someone recently, I was talking with him, he wants to buy a particular property. So he was looking at the site plan and said, okay, the church is here, okay, the mosque is here. I think I want something here. Reason it doesn't stay close to church.
Because of the noise.
Exactly. The mosque, so they value that quietness. It
Yeah.
helps them. So they choose locations where they can move easily, breathe easily, and return home to quietness. For them, silence is something of great value after spending a whole day with a whole lot of mental work. So silence is actually very valuable and a reason why they buy certain places.
And the next one we're looking at is the emotional value. This is something that a lot of people do not really pay attention to, but
Yeah.
somehow it affects them, right? Emotional value of your peace. At a certain level of wealth, money stops being about survival. This is an honest truth. It stops being about survival. It becomes more about your emotional comfort.
Yeah.
And I think this is even one of the reasons why, for some people, as they grow in life, they just completely detach from certain relationships,
exactly,
from certain people, but because at the end of the day, those people, the result of those relationships do not bring them peace. They don't have peace. They don't have emotional comfort. So they try to, let go and have their peace of mind. At this point, peace means waking up without disturbance. I mean, every form of disturbance. Peace means coming home and feeling safe and relaxed, very safe and relaxed. And then peace means not having to constantly manage your environment. And when I mean manage your environment, I'm talking about everything, including people, human beings, work, everything. You don't have to manage. I want to say manage, like you're not comfortable. You're not okay, but you just have to manage. No, you get to that stage in life where you no longer have to manage all of that. And that is emotional value for you. So when wealthy people invest in real estate, they're not only thinking about the structure, that is the structure of the building. They look beyond the structure. What they are thinking about is the space. How does it protect my mental health? And I think at this point, every other investor out there should begin to look at this as well. So beyond the house that you want to buy, how is the environment? How is the environment? Is it an environment that my peace, and my emotional comfort will be assured? So because peace reduces stress, and reduced stress improves the quality of your life. Now, you might want to try this out. So if you're in an environment that is stressing the hell out of you, just leave. Take a 2 weeks break. Come back and give us the feedback.
Talking
We'd
about
like to hear. We'd like to hear.
Talking about this emotional value of peace reminds me of something. Now I understand why the wealthy do what they do.
Yeah.
And we are becoming that the wealthy, see, man. Now, this reminds me of something. Well, when I was quite young, I remember back then where we used to live was block of flats, jam-packed space and all.
Yeah.
Have they ever woken you up by 5 a.m. talking about remove your car and they want to drive out? Talk about the emotional value of peace. Somebody wants to leave early in the morning. Come and knock. With all humility, sorry, sir, please, you want to go? Can you come and drive out your car?
Yeah. I think I've had to witness this thing in one place. I will not mention the name of the place.
So imagine that you're still, perhaps you even just went to bed around 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. because you don't really sleep that much if you don't get to know. Then by 5, someone is knocking. So please come and shift your car or move your car. We want to drive out.
Or sometimes you just slept. By 12, they came back late.
Emotional value of peace. The next point is also tied to the emotional value of peace. It's because of exclusivity and of course status. Exclusivity simply means something that's not for everyone. Like that's why most of them, they will tell you, I want a fully detached, my own compound,
my space,
my own space, so that nobody will come and tell me they want to repack or they want to drive out in the morning or the likes of that. So that nobody, all of those extras. Because honestly, they actually look out for locations that are not for everyone.
Exactly.
Like because some estates are designed for a certain level of income, lifestyle, and standard. Simple. So if you don't have your income bracket does not fall within there, just keep trusting God, keep working hard, and keep believing that you will grow. Honestly, some people do not like to sit with this, but it's a truth that I have come to sit with.
Yeah.
I would definitely, myself, for instance, I would definitely grow to that place where I can comfortably afford to live in certain places. But whilst you're working towards this, okay to say, okay, some people will just get mad at people. Why are you living in that place? Come and live amongst us, the masses. No. Yeah, who is the masses?
Why are you angry?
It's actually okay to know that certain estates were designed for certain people on a certain level.
Exactly.
And this is what exclusivity does. It adds that kind of value because when fewer people can access a place, it becomes more desirable. Why is life like that? You want something, The moment they take it away from you, it's always been there, but the moment you can no longer access it, you want it some more.
We can't explain that.
Well, that's one thing exclusivity brings, more desire. It also creates a sense of identity. People who want to live where they feel they belong in a certain class or environment.
Exactly.
So they're not just buying because of the place, but what that place will make them be termed as.
Exactly.
So
they want people to refer to them in a certain way.
I live at Ministers Hill at Socorro. I live at Asu.
Yeah.
Those kind of, it just makes you feel you belong to a certain kind of place. And those things, much more than you know, will open doors. No, let's not go there anyway. So it's about exclusivity and status as well. So they buy certain places for that reason. And sometimes it's never really, it's never really about showing off. It's about the value that it adds to their life on a certain level. It's about selection and separation from
certain things they are not willing to be part of.
Exactly.
Now, this leads us to the next point, which talks about avoiding crowded areas. So a lot of wealthy buyers wouldn't want to be in areas that are overcrowded. Now, areas that are overcrowded are usually very cheap. I don't know why cheap and overcrowded are together.
As well.
Both.
About it now.
those areas, right? They are usually cheap, very affordable, and they come with their own stress and hidden costs. Now I'm just going to, lay out a scenario, very simple. Imagine that you live in a place like Kubwa. Now I'm using Kubwa because
sorry guys.
I'm using Kubwa because there are a lot of fine places in Kubwa where you have certain wealthy people live in Kubwa, and then your place of work is Wuye. And then you go through the stress of traveling all the way from Kubwa to Wuye every blessed day. Now you might feel that staying in Kubwa is cheaper. Another thing is Kubwa is a place that has a lot of people. I don't want to use the word overcrowded. So it has a lot of people there, right?
Densely populated.
Exactly. And then houses there are relatively cheap, very affordable. But the hidden cost you are paying for is your transport fare.
Exactly.
The traffic you get to endure to and fro.
Your
time, the energy. Now, when you add all of these things together, do you know that you can comfortably live somewhere in Wuye?
That's the truth, actually.
So that is it's just an instance for you to have an idea of what we are talking about, right? This is not to talk down on anyone at all. We're just trying to paint a picture. So overcrowded areas may be cheaper, but they come with hidden costs. Like I mentioned earlier, more noise, more traffic, less privacy, less control. You barely have control over who has access to you, to your home, and again, we mentioned more stress, the stress of going to and fro, every part of the city you want to go to, especially when you want to come to the city center, is usually stressful. So wealthy buyers understand something very important. What you save in money, you may lose in peace. Yes, what you save in money, you may lose that in peace. So instead of choosing cheap, crowded locations, they prefer structured environments where life is more predictable and calm. And again, they are not just buying land, they are buying stability. It is very important. And another thing this does is when you have that stability, you are more productive. You become more productive. When you have your peace of mind and you experience less stress, you're more productive. Like everything just makes life easy for you.
If you've been watching it also, I believe you're understanding why the wealthy thinks a certain way and buy certain things. And all of what we have said so far just boils down to what I'm about to say now, which is the luxury psychology. Whenever you hear the word luxury, just know it has to do with all what we've said: exclusivity, more space, security, less stress, peace of mind, comfort. Think about it. When you hear luxurious boss, bigger box, more space.
Exactly.
When you hear even luxurious boss, it's what I just talked about now, luxurious box. Means bigger box, more space, has space for your cosmetics, where you can put your shoes. Those big boxes that when you're traveling, you want to spend 2 days and you carry that big box. It's a luxurious box because it gives more space, more comfort. You can fit in a whole lot of things into that. That's a psychology of luxury. It gives you ability, gives you space, gives you comfort, eases you of a whole lot of stress. When you hear luxury in planes, it's first class. You can stretch your leg. more space, you can lie.
Yeah,
Understand?
relax.
So that is actually the psychology that the wealthy have in mind. The psychology, the luxury psychology, as I like to call it. So when they buy these estates, they're buying a lifestyle where the environment does not depend on constant stress.
Mm-hmm.
Luxury,
Mm-hmm.
luxury. Some I learned this from my Gen Z friends. They say it's premium luxury. I like to add premium. They say premium
Yeah,
tiers.
premium.
Have you tried premium tiers? So
Premium,
premium
yeah.
luxury, where there is no noise, where it's
Mm-hmm.
actually very calm. This is the idea of all of it. It's about the psychology of luxury.
So when you look at high value areas in Abuja, don't just see land or buildings.
Yeah.
See what is being sold. So some people see the prices of properties in certain locations in Abuja, and the first question that comes out is, why is it so expensive? So when you see properties valued at that at these prices that you term as very expensive, see beyond what is being sold, right?
Yeah.
See the peace that comes with it, the privacy, the exclusivity, and emotional comfort. Because in real estate, location is not just geography, it is psychology,
Exactly.
right?
It's psychology.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually. So that is the much we're gonna have for you today. Talk about exclusivity, controlled access, peace of mind, and all of that. This is why they spend so much for that. And it's not just for them. One thing I've realized about life is, I think it was also said in a very popular movie. I can't remember the movie, but the word is this: it's all connected.
Yeah.
So one decision you're taking in this direction connects
Mm-hmm.
to every other part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
most people that do well in life understand this. So even down to the space they choose and all of that, it is all connected.
Connected.
Before we go, I'll ask you a question. So if you could pay more to just enjoy privacy
Mm-hmm.
and
Peace.
peace, all of this that we have talked about, but money was not the problem. You had all the money in this world. Would you still go ahead and buy? If the answer is yes, then you have understood the luxury psychology. And to add to that, we also have a lot of luxurious locations here in Abuja. If you're someone who loves luxury, you're looking for a place where you can buy luxury properties, land, and houses as well, definitely all you have to do is just go to the link to the description down below. You see our phone number there, and you call us, and we will help you get the best of the luxurious locations right here in the city of Abuja.
So, till we come your way again, have a fantastic day. Bye for now.
Bye for now.